He goes, but bro, where's the banjo?
What's going on, everybody? I'm sorry about the little bit of delay. My computer decided to do a quick update before the show started, so that's always fun to have.
Full Moon Tuesday.
It's something, man. Jeez, oh man. All right, let me bring in the cohorts. I got Big Bri with us.
Hey, man.
Hello. I got my cousin Vinny.
Hey, good morning.
And we have a special guest sitting here in our little bullpen, our pig pen is what we like to call it, from the voice of the land, from BIGPLAY, and your Cleveland Crunch play-by-play man, Kevan Arnold's joining us. What's going on, Kev?
What's up, guys? That sounds so good to hear out in the open now.
I know, right? Look at that. You got some good news.
Thank you.
Yes. He's balling over here. You know, always doing so much stuff. He's on Cleveland.com. He's everywhere. But
awesome.
Stay on that grind, man. Stay on that hustle.
So before we get into you and start talking Cavs, we got to go through a few things for us. We got to thank our sponsor, Harold from the APA, Lake Erie APA. He will be out with us live next week at Mr. B's. So I can't wait for that. Also, we got to thank the tournament. We had a little 9-ball tournament. And it was definitely a good time. I'm not going to lie about that one. But there's a few more tournaments going on. If you guys want to join the APA, please get a hold of me or Vinny or, one of us. We'll get you all hooked up with everything. Also, we got to do our rundown. We're going to talk some Cavs here with Kevin. A little bit later on, we have a surprise. Jarvis the Tank Courtney will be joining us for our Fat Boy Tuesday. A little bit later on, we're going to be talking about some overrated foods. So, Kevin, you got any overrated foods right now before we get moving on?
Every single gluten-free thing that I have to try to stomach down every single day.
There it is.
I'm not even gonna hold it off. I'm just not gonna tease it. I'm just
My wife told me, she goes, anything that will kill me. So anything shellfish. She's like, it's overrated.
Right.
But
yeah.
we'll get into that a little bit later. We're going to talk a little bit about the Browns exit interviews and all that stuff. We have a little bit. Somebody told me that they have a little Twitter thing that they would like what he wants to name the bad people on Twitter.
Yeah. I mean, there might be like a new name for Cleveland fans, that the select few that make us all look bad in the bad side, the terrible side of Twitter.
No, that's not good. Let's move the Cavs up here. And then we got my cousin Vinny's word of the day and trivia time. And Brian, it's your turn for trivia, correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, I did give you a good Cavs trivia last time. Kevin nailed it a round ahead. So let's get into quickly our shout outs this week. I will go first. My shout outs. I got shout out Toby, all the guys I hung out with on Saturday. We had a blast at the pool tournament. I had so much fun. Also have to shout out our boss, B Baby, is retired. So, he's 1 foot out the door, even though he's still yelling at us. He's still 1 foot out the door. And other than that, that's all I kind of got. Brian, you got any shout outs? You went down to Hocking Hills, right?
Yeah, we'll shout out my family, I guess. Spent the extended weekend down in Hocking Hills at a beautiful cabin, gigantic. Slept, I think, like 40 people. So we all piled in there, and we do it every year. and it's just a good time. We don't do a whole lot. We just sit around. Thankfully, it's usually Martin Luther King weekend, and I got some football I can watch. And the Wi-Fi was actually halfway decent this time, so that kind of helped me out. And also, I'll shout out the Cincinnati Bengals and their fans. I know they're supposed to be our rivals, but there's not as much hate for them as there is for the Steelers and the Ravens. And their fan base has been long suffering, kind of like we have. And we got off the schneid last year, and they finally got off the schneid this year. So, yeah, they got a real shot at it. I'm not saying I'm rooting for them, but it was cool to see, our fellow Ohioans get something to celebrate for once. And I got some family in Cincinnati who are big Bengals fans, so I got a lot of love for them. And make it 1 year, and we'll get back on top next year.
All right, Vinny, you got your shout outs.
A couple shout outs. Actually, yesterday was one of my best friends out in New Hampshire, his birthday, Jeff. So wishing you a happy birthday, buddy. Also today actually happens to be my nephew Dominic's birthday.
Oh,
so
Dom.
Yep, absolutely.
Teenager
happy birthday there. Close, 11.
Oh, he's bad.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a kid that can put down some pierogies? Holy
I heard. I understand.
cow.
Yeah. Still a little beanstalk though.
Kev, you got any shout outs?
Yeah, I'll shout out 3 people, kind of 2 in 1 to start off with. My grandfather and my mother, who just went through COVID themselves, getting through it, and especially my grandpa, who's 95, just turned 95 this past October. He went through some health stuff leading into the holidays, and then having to go through a week-long quarantine with COVID, not being able to get the the physical therapists and things that have been kind of coming to see him. But got the latest update that he is seeming stronger than ever, walking around the house again. So getting back moving instead of just sitting in his chair watching news all day. And then got to shout out the fiance, Jana Fenstermaker. A lot on her plate, a lot on our plate. We are 4 months and 2 days away from the big day. So we're trying to get those final things all going all at once.
Well, I was trying to zoom in on you. And
it's all right. You don't need to zoom in on me.
No,
Don't worry.
because I want to ask you where you got your little Burtman background. I love that Burtman mustard.
Yeah, so that's Jana's. That's a gift that my family got for her for Christmas. And then it still says, of course, above the big Jumbotron, Quicken Loans. That was actually a picture taken by my sister and, edited and everything like that. So it's done by her, and then she got it made into kind of one of those canvas photos and gave that to me a few years back. So
I mean, Brian's got Big Ben back there crying in the corner.
Yep, still there, still crying.
It's a heck of a way to go too. I mean, I got other stuff kind of above me. We set up a whole sports corner now for all this stuff, but I realized that the one thing I have is like a picture frame, so the light kind of reflects off of it and you can't really see it, so it makes it all distorted. So I figured to keep it somewhat professional when I'm doing the other stuff, I got to keep the angle just down here. So I got my two favorite sports right here. So it's all right.
Well, we're going to get one here in a second, but it is Bry's turn for trivia. So let's click off our trivia sounder there, Vinny. And our trivia is brought to you by Papa V and Kerb Appeal Landscaping. Get a hold of Papa V at
419.com.
419.com. Landscaping, Papa V, Kerb Appeal, 419.com. Man, I say it all the time, but I feel like I screw it up when I say it. You've been there. You know how.
Yeah. Trust me, it ain't easy doing that every single week. Trust me.
So, Brian, why don't you give me that trivia, bud? Come on. Give me something good.
Yeah, I got something for you. Let me first say that's great news about Kevin's grandfather. This time it can never be taken for granted. So, prayers were answered there. That's awesome to hear. Let me give you your trivia is going to be college football trivia, and it's going back to the national championship game. And Alabama gave up a 67-yard run in the national title game, which was the longest run it had given up in the last 6 years, 67-yarder. So I'm looking for the last guy who ran further than 67 yards on an Alabama defense.
Wow.
I think I
6+
know.
years ago. It's a name you've heard of.
Okay.
I know.
Household name.
I think I know the guy.
Okay.
Patty, you got this one.
I think I do. I think I do.
Vinny, keep an eye on the comments. Make sure nobody gives him the answer this time.
I can't read. I don't have
I'm
my
all
glasses
over
on
it.
right now. You got
Classic.
4 eyes to me. Justice
Classic.
Simpson James. Is it Rick James?
See? Oh, you could see that, huh?
Well, it's Rick James. I mean, it's kind of hard not to be Rick James, right?
Contradicting yourself there.
Yeah. All right, Vinny, let's get into your word of the day, bud.
All righty. No sounder for that stuff.
Dude,
Oh, yeah, we're better.
my Lord. Oh, doots, 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 doots.
All
And
right.
my cousin Vinny's word of the day.
All right.
Good one.
Here is today's word of the day. Uh-oh, there it is.
Meritorious.
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 All right. So we'll go over the 4 definitions that I have. Is it A, agreeable or inoffensive word or phrase used instead of one that may offend? Okay. Is it deserving of honor or esteem? Is it confidently optimistic? Or is it pleasing or cheerful? Those are your 4 definitions.
See, these are words that you need when you do your play-by-play just to really mess somebody up. Just, they'll be
There you
like,
go.
what?
Yeah, throw it in there.
See, I save all those to mess up Jana. You know, like I use the big words to mess her up, and it throws her off or throws our conversation all the way off.
See, I do it here at the house too, but I say it wrong. So every time I say it, my wife looks at me. I don't think it's used like that. I'm like, are you sure? Because I think I just answered it upstairs. But
oh, you guys know I use proverbial when I'm talking about our AI system, audio. Peter, tell him I don't know that I'm actually using it right, but it just sounded right the first time I did it, and now I pull back the curtain all the time. I let everybody in on the bits. It's a bit at this point. I just keep using it because it just works.
Hey, and the best thing is during their show, I'll chime in. I'm like, come on, Peter, show that beautiful face of yours. Come on, you silver fox. You know you want to come on the camera. No, won't even do it. Won't even. So they just call him audio now, which I love.
Not even at home when he has the camera, like his own webcam and like the professional setup where he has it turned on him already. It's not even that we have to turn the camera in the studio on him. He's at home when we're doing it remote, and he still won't turn the camera on. So still won't do it. So he's a bit in himself. So it's all right. We love him, and we can't thank him enough.
Well, Sunday you had Nick Pedot on. You guys were talking some Cavs.
Yeah.
And you guys brought up some interesting conversations because we haven't really talked Cavs since Browns season pretty much started. I mean, when they were done, we were kind of done with them. But, I mean, can we honestly be believers in the Cavs now? I mean, they are playing at an unreal clip. They're a young team. They're a fun team. And they got all-stars on this team that we're not used to. So, I mean, how did this all kind of come together, especially after the injuries with Collin Sexton, with, Larry Nance Jr. leaving? How has this team just come together?
And it feels like it's a year ahead, right? Like if we feel like we're a year ahead of where like what we thought this process was going to look like with some of the guys coming in. But I think part of that is Evan Mobley. You have a guy that you can build around. You have JB Bickerstaff, who said, screw it to the rest of the NBA playing small ball. He said, let me put 3 7-footers out here with a wingspan that's, 7'5", 7'6" all over the court. He's got Lauri Markkanen playing the 3. Yeah, NBA is positionless basketball now, but you're throwing 3 big guys out there in your starting lineup while everybody else is going small, and they try to drive in, and they're getting swatted by Mobley. If it's not Mobley, then it's Allen. If it's not Allen, then it's Markkanen. If it's not them, even Kevin Love has stepped up and played some defense this year. I think the main thing, though, guys, is these guys have bought in to what JB is trying to do, and JB, in turn, with the respect going back and forth, has enabled these guys to just be themselves within the general philosophy, the general system he is trying to run.
So on that note, I mean, you have Mobley, who you drafted, who is playing outstanding. He looks like the best one in the draft so far. I mean, at least, we got Homer goggles on because, we love our Cleveland teams.
Mm-hmm.
But you also got to kind of factor in that they extended JB, they extended Kobe Altman. And this is like unreal for Cavs because we don't do that. Like normally after the coach is like, Dan Gilbert throws down the hammer, he goes, nope, you're out, you're out, you're out. Is it because of the way this team is playing now that everything is just like the Browns term, cohesive?
Cohesive, yeah. I mean, they used a different word. I know the Browns used a different word. It was like a trigger word for me because even though they were playing well last year, I still didn't like hearing it. I think I've taken it out of my brain. But I mean, there is that consistency. There's that cohesiveness, and I think unfortunately, with Dan Gilbert going through those health problems as well, I think that he is just maybe taking a step back and taking time for family, but also looked at what this organization is doing, whether maybe even before the success really started to take off this season, and just saw like, I need to let the basketball people that I have trusted do basketball things. And now I'm seeing that they are doing those things for this team in a good way. They should be rewarded with new contracts or even promotion. Kobe Altman got promoted to president of basketball operations, not just general manager. Will they put someone in that role? I don't know. But your original question, Fatty, I mean, are you a believer? I've been a believer for a while. I kind of was cautious in the beginning, those first 10 games, because if you remember last season, they started off pretty well as well in those first 10. Injuries really hit, and it turned into the season that everybody thought it was going to be. The injuries have hit this year, but they have drafted so well, and they have brought in the proper pieces. Ricky Rubio, all the best to him in his recovery. But then you turn around, you get Rondo. Rondo's been out for the last several games with an injury. Goodwin out of the G League has stepped up. Darius Garland is playing out of his mind. He should be an all-star player. Jared Allen is your all-star for this team. Mobley is the rookie of the year at this point of the season. But it's never the same guy every single night doing it for this team. Markkanen hit that 3 in OKC at the end of that game. You got Garland stepping up against Brooklyn, but also Okoro defensively against Kyrie. That's what you brought Okoro in for, and he's showing a little bit on the offensive end this year. They're developing right and just having a good time playing basketball. But it's not just a fun team anymore, guys. This is a fun, really good basketball team that is going to be a problem for teams down the stretch.
So you mentioned all those guys, and at the start of the year as Cavs fans, we didn't have a whole lot of expectations. I think Vegas set the over-under at 24, 25 wins, and we've already eclipsed that. But we have so many guys playing at such a high level, we still don't have that quote-unquote superstar just yet. But what player would you say is the biggest surprise this year based on what the preseason expectations were?
Kevin Love is the biggest surprise to me. Now, because I knew Evan Mobley, it's maybe more of a, he's doing more than I thought he could do, but I knew he would be really good. And I knew he would be the centerpiece. You couldn't go wrong at 3 because you already knew those were the top 3 being talked about. So if Altman went anywhere else, then you had to question him. I wanted a wing player, but hey, again, I was wrong. I will say I'm wrong as many times as I need to. If I give an opinion and it's wrong, I will say it when it's proven wrong. But Kevin Love has been the biggest surprise, and it's because as a guy that came up as a star player in Minnesota and then came here to be part of a big 3 to help in a championship run, which he did. And then everything that we saw last year, and we don't put any sort of ill will towards people that deal with the mental health issues. And Kevin Love has been a big proponent for mental health, and a big reason why I have worked on my own mental health myself, because people kind of coming out and talking about it, it is important to have that out there. But as a player last year, I mean, I keep going back, and I know sound like a broken record, but I keep going back to that play in Toronto where, Toronto hits a shot. It goes out of bounds. Kevin Love goes to take it out. He just throws it in just wherever he wants. It goes straight to Toronto. No one's even there to collect it for the Cavs. He doesn't come in to try to even play defense to make it look like it was a mistake. He just throws it in. They hit a three, and the Cavs get beat by a lot again in that game when they had a chance. This year, he's accepted a bench role, and for a stretch, he was averaging 20, 25 points, 9 rebounds for a stretch of games, even from that. And he comes in, he's a spark off the bench. Another guy knows his role, playing his role, and he's doing the Rock proud, knowing his role. That's for sure.
Which is weird. I mean, we both, Brian and I talked about it. Like, I never thought I would see Kevin Love be, okay coming off the bench. Like, I knew that's where he needed to be, but I never thought he'd be okay with it, especially like, you said about the Toronto game. But Brian, you had another question. I'm sorry. It's just weird.
No.
Love is like the 6th man of the year right now. Like,
right. Wow. Yeah, I don't think anybody would have guessed that after last year and coming into this year with this young team. But I think there's a lot of diehard Cavs fans out there, but then there's also a lot of I don't know what you want to call it, but almost like fringe fans where the Cavs are our team. We love them, but we're not going to sit down and watch every single game. And we're kind of caught up with the Browns season. So, as we transition from the Browns to the Cavs here, I one young player that kind of caught my eye that I don't know a whole lot about, and I don't know what his ceiling is, and I don't know what his role is, but it seems now that Okoro is back. Let me look up his name, Lamar Stevens. Is there a role for him going forward? He seemed to have broke out a couple games where he gave us double-digit points, and on a team where we have those 7-footers, we need like wing players that can get us points, and a team that doesn't really shoot the ball particularly well. Can he be a guy to step up and maybe develop into a contributor for a playoff team?
Now, I'm sure you guys are going to want to talk about trade deadline and adding things here. I don't think Lamar Stevens can be the wing that this team needs to add. I will say that that's the position I'm looking at to add if they can for the right price come the trade deadline on February 10th. But Lamar Stevens can absolutely be a piece in this rotation. These guys are taking on the dog mentality, the dog pound mentality that we hoped we would see from the Browns every single game, whether playing in front of us in First Energy Stadium in front of the dog pound or on the road. This Cavs team is really doing it. They're literally barking at each other when they're celebrating a play. They call themselves some dogs. And one of those dogs, one of those true dogs that you think of when you look up the definition of dog, a dog in sports, it's Lamar Stevens. It's a guy that does all the dirty work. And on the road trip, some of those games they got down, or teams that were below 500 in the Western Conference that were giving the Cavs a game, the reason why the Cavs were still in the game and had a chance at the end was because of Lamar Stevens and found some offensive rhythm and offensive firepower for this team. But he's not going to do that all the time, and that's why he can be a piece, but maybe not the main addition without adding actually anybody to this team and just putting him in the rotation. I just think he's gonna earn his time, and especially if this team makes a playoff series, he's gonna earn a few minutes in those playoff series, almost like a Dante Jones who's gonna come in for a few minutes when needed and just give you everything, whether he shows up on a stat sheet or not. He is going to have an impact on the game, and I think that comes from Penn State, because the era he was in Penn State, that was the type of team that they were. They weren't great. They weren't going to win the Big Ten, but they were just some dogs that were going to give every single big team in the Big Ten a lot of trouble.
So the question I want to ask you is Collin Sexton. All right. He's injured. Obviously he's not coming, this year. They have to do his contract, correct? At some point in time. It'd be this offseason, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Am I fair to say that I don't think this team would be playing this great with Collin Sexton?
I don't think that that's fair to say. I think it's, and not comparing to the talent level in each sport, but almost an OBJ type of circumstance. Would he buy in? Just going back to that circumstance, when people ask the question, would you trade OBJ or would you keep him? I was in the side of keeping him because I wanted to see him with a confident Baker and with the culture that was being built. If he didn't buy in, I kept saying, if he didn't buy in, he wasn't going to be here for long. And he wasn't. He was let go, and we found out he didn't want to be here. For Collin Sexton, it's kind of the same thing. Early on in the season, I can't remember who they were playing, but there was a game where the Cavs were down 1 and all they needed was a layup or just a 2-point basket to win. And I know that they ended up winning because Darius Garland, got the ball in his hands finally on an inbounds play, got to the free throw line, ice cold, in his veins, and knocked down those 2 free throws. But the play before, Collin Sexton was dribbling for like 10 straight seconds and tried to go in against 2 or 3 guys and got blocked out of bounds. Like, he was trying to do it all himself. Darius Garland, I think, may have taken it out, and they had a play kind of back and forth, and it got back in Darius's hands, and you had your ball handler kind of facilitating or getting something for himself, feeling more confident where the ball was. Would Collin Sexton make the adjustment to where this team has gotten to now? I think he has the talent to do so I don't think it's fair to say, but I understand why you're saying it, and it also wouldn't have shocked me if we were seeing him play right now and we kind of had like this multiverse of Cavs and Collin Sexton wasn't hurt and we could see what that team looked like. I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't as good as this Cavs team.
Because the only reason why I brought it up, it just seems like this Cavs team has just bought into JB. And it's everybody. Like you said, it's everybody scoring 10, 15, 20 points. It's not just one guy trying to take it over. I mean, you got Darius Garland, who I believe has taken a huge step this year and actually taken control of this team. And I personally think it's because Collin Sexton is not there. But that's just me personally. I'm not saying anything bad about Collin. I think it was just a bad fit for both of them to be on the court together. But
I mean, if you want to question them playing together, that I totally understand. We just don't know now because we didn't see great results. It was kind of inconsistent results when they got a chance to, when both were healthy last season. This season, again, one of them is hurt, so we don't really get to see it. That contract or the Rubio contract could be something that they use in trades. And I'm not going to be overly upset if he goes. I won't be necessarily like glowing and happy that he's gone either, because I think that he could be another scorer that this team desperately needs on the wing or at the guard position right now for rotation.
So Kevin, you brought up the trade deadline, so let's get into it. It's only a few weeks away. And you said that the Cavs are ahead of schedule. So where does that leave them in what they want to do this year? Do they strike while the iron's hot? Do they just go forward with their original plan? I mean, we know they need shooting. They could probably use another guard with Rondo possibly being older and injury prone. Do they make a move to try to win this year? Do they just kind of ride it out, get some playoff experience, and understand that next year, the following years, that's when we can win a championship?
My best answer is this year at the right price to keep as many things together and keep this core together. It's at the right price for the right player, I would even add. I know people have talked about Eric Gordon as an option that the Cavs are interested in. It's not that I'm not into Eric Gordon. It's just, that's one of those older players that, is he just around for the final few months and whatever playoff action that this team gets to play in? Is he a rental player? To put it in a better wording there. Is he a rental player? I don't know. I know he could help. So if he comes here, I'm not going to, again, another thing where I'm not going to be upset if they're able to get him at the right price. But names like Karis LeVert, Buddy Hield, names like that. I know that some people have aspirations of one of those guys from the Celtics. I think Jaylen Brown. I've heard that name float around there by a guy that people want, not necessarily rumors that the Cavs are interested in him, but a younger wing player, maybe in their mid-20s, the 26, the 27-year-olds that have a year and a half left on their deal or something like that. More like the Indians/Guardians model where you have a little bit more control over them. And yes, they are. Yes, that is the perfect shirt to wear, Fatty. They
No,
are
hey,
Indians.
I got the Browns.
Just like himself.
I'm all right.
Yeah. So it's kind of the model after that. And I think we're blessed right now in Cleveland because I think we can say that we have pretty good front offices, even with the Browns right now. We have pretty good front offices across the board. And we don't get to say that very often. I know in my sports fandom lifetime, I have not been able to really say that at all. And it's about getting those younger wing players that have that NBA experience. Still, you're getting some veteran presence, but young, exciting, and maybe some team control. I don't know that you can get that, though, at the right price. If Kobe Altman swings a deal like that again, where he kind of almost feel like you fleeced the other team, more power to him. GM of the year, you got GM of the year candidate. You got coach of the year, sixth man of the year candidate, rookie of the year candidate. You just don't have that MVP. But for this team, it works. It feels more fun and less stressful than when that guy was here. And that guy is LeBron James because I'm still a fan of him. So I'll use his name, unlike some people with Voldemort in Harry Potter. I know, nerd. But a guy like that is going to take on all this attention, and they think they can flip some sort of switch later on because he's saving these older guys are saving their legs for the playoff run. You don't have that. They're just going out there every single night and putting on the line and having a whole lot of fun doing it. And we're having a whole lot of fun watching them if we're able to, but I won't get into that.
Yeah. Come on, Hulu. Do better.
Come on, Bally. Come on, Bally Sports.
Yeah, Sally. What kind of money are you trying to make over there? Just dish it out.
Do you think that there's one particular player that will just really kind of put us over the top if we were to get him at the right price?
I don't know.
Every time I ask a question.
See, that's what you get for asking questions. He throws up on us. That's what you get for asking questions.
That's it. I'm sitting back again.
You better sit back. Jeez. There he is. Is he back?
Almost.
I can hear him.
Little bits.
Uh-oh.
That gives him more time to think of his answer.
That's what he did. He
Real
froze it. He
stumper.
froze it on purpose.
He's like, son of a bitch, he's asking a question. Oops, sorry.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, he's back. There he
Can
is.
you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. I just had to hit stop cam and then start cam. You know, just the almost the point and click version of plug and unplug and plug in type
Hey,
thing.
that's what you get for Vinny asking questions.
Yep.
This is what happens. What happens?
Every time.
Like your computer didn't know what to do. You're like, oh shit, Vinny is asking a question. And he did it again. Is it us?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Let's see.
I got you. Well, you're good to hear.
I can't hear you.
Then tell a joke. Come on. What's your greatest
Tell
joke?
a joke? I don't know. You don't want me to tell a joke.
Yeah, we can't tell jokes.
No.
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 No jokes on this show. No matter what.
Kind of
In bad
family friendly.
Yeah. I don't even know any
Hear me?
friendly jokes. I don't know anything.
All right, do we get Kevin back? He's trying to reboot.
Yeah.
There he is.
All right.
He's
All right.
Is he back?
All right, I'm fresh on my side. You guys just keep taking in the time and covering the time, and I'll be right back. All right.
There we go. Filibustering. We got you.
Yeah, go for it, boss.
And he's refreshing.
All right.
Well, while he's refreshing, we do have our other guest in the wings. Do we want to bring him on and let Kevin come back in?
Let's bring him on for a minute.
Yeah.
Let's show everyone.
I mean, is that all right?
I don't mean whatever you want to do. I mean,
Well,
yeah, we can run 5 wide.
we were 5 wide. So we got
Good.
Kevin back, I think.
Okay.
Is Kevin back?
I'll tell you what. Let me hop out.
You're
I'll hop
hopping out?
for now.
All right, see ya.
I'd still like my question answered, but I'm going to hop out. I'll be able to hear in the background.
Okay.
All right. See you back.
So he's hopped out. Kevin, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Hear me.
All right. So anybody, well, before you answer that question, we got to bring over our other guest. And I haven't talked to him in a long time, and I can't wait to hear from him. Jarvis, the Tank Courtney, is joining us. What's going on, big guy?
Happening, man. Happening.
Hey, man.
How y'all doing?
Good.
Great. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Hanging in there.
All right. You watch basketball?
Nah, not really. More of a football.
That's all right.
That's all right. We brought you in for football here after we get done with Vinny's question. So
Okay.
Vinny asked Kevin, is there one person to put us over top that we can get at a decent price?
Love to say.
For the Browns.
No, for the Cavs, but
No.
Kevin's freezing up on us again.
Oh, shit.
That's all right. It's okay, Kevin. Kevin, it's okay. We'll talk after the show, okay? No big deal. All right. He gave me a thumbs up. All right, so now we're going to talk about Browns. Now that you're here, what's going on, brother?
Man, nothing. Just same.
Yeah, good to see you.
Training. Same to you. Training. Work. And just trying to make it happen for real. Like, I don't know. It's just. I'm just ready for it to happen. A lot of people ready for it to happen. Y'all ready for it to happen. It's just a matter of time.
Tell us what you've been up to since we last talked, since the beginning of the season.
Well, training still. I was back and forth with trying to figure out an agent. You know what I'm saying? Because I had let my other agent go because I feel like he wasn't really putting in the work like I was. You know what I'm saying? And trying to figure out an agent, training, doing motivational speaking stuff, training kids, just trying to stay active for real.
Sure.
So how's little man?
Getting big. Like his birthday is next month. He's only and he's 3.5 feet tall.
Jeez. What are you feeding that kid?
He's like,
gotta groom him.
He's like a man baby.
Jeez, I can't not believe that is
Get your kids on that regimen right there. You got two of them. You got two offensive tackles over there.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm playing football though, because there's a lot with football. We gonna see what you know what I'm saying, what he wanna do. But I mean if he wants then that's that. But I really don't want him playing football because it gets real.
For sure. Yeah. I don't blame you.
So you have mentioned something to me about the you took a plane trip down to a little South Beach action.
Man, it's okay with that. It's like, okay, so what I did in Cleveland was because I feel like I'm trying to do everything possible just for someone just to get me in there. You know what I'm saying? Just to get my foot in there. It's like, I don't see why it's so hard to, you know what I'm saying, get people workout. I know it's kind of tough with like COVID and everything like that. Because ever since COVID hit, they was like, I guess, limiting workouts and everything like that. But it's like, since I'm the underdog, it's like, nobody's really paying attention to me. So I can post all these videos and I can work my butt off. But it's like, I got to put myself in front of somebody so they can see me. And it's like,
right.
I'm whole 6'5", 290, and I'm in shape. Like, I'm doing stuff most offensive linemen can't do. And then I'm versatile. I can play any offense, any position on the offensive line, plus defensive line too. And then I played a little bit of fullback in arena football. It's like,
oh, I saw you play fullback arena football.
I'm like, I can get the job done. It's like one opportunity. That's it. It cannot be that hard. Like it can't. I'm not even asking them people. No, I don't want the money from them or none of that. I just want to just go in there, just give me 10 minutes. Just put me at some stations, whatever y'all want me to do. Get it done.
You just want to bash heads with somebody is what you want.
Yeah.
I get it.
So to let our listeners know, are you strictly going for tackle? Or are you versatile? Can you switch to guard or even play some center?
I can play, like I said, any position on the offensive line. I can play any position on the defensive line. Any position really. I mean, whatever's open, I'm ready to put in the work.
Just need that opportunity.
Yeah.
So you've been following football. I mean, how do you think this year has gone? We are Browns fans. We're going to get into our top 3 a little bit later, where we're going to kind of pick our Super Bowl favorites this year. But, I mean, you've watched all football with COVID, everything else, with everything that happened. I mean, what's your biggest surprise this year of the NFL?
I'm surprised it's honestly like still going on because like so many players was catching COVID, and then I had COVID just past last year in August, and the symptoms and everything like that, and I know what they going through, and it's like it's kind of hard to come back from that within like a couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? Because your stamina is low. You know what I'm saying? You lose somewhat muscle mass. It's like it's hard to just jump back out there. Like, I'm a Cowboys fan, and my team lost last week to the 49ers. Like, Micah Parsons, he had COVID, and it's crazy that he played last week. And I'm like, how is he doing that? And then we seen him on the sideline. It's like he gasping for air. And it's like they really sacrificing their bodies just to make, you know what I'm saying, stuff happen. It's like, I don't even see how the NFL continue for real. I mean, that was because a lot of players was catching it. Like every week, someone was catching it.
Yeah, I mean, we went through it last year with Myles Garrett. I mean,
yeah,
when he got it last year, he was not the same player when he came back. But this year, he. I mean, let's be honest, he is the defensive player of the year. I don't care about TJ Watt.
Yeah,
I mean,
Baker handed it to TJ Watt. I mean,
well, it wasn't.
You need to send him a car or something for helping him out there.
Well, our boy Juice is a Cowboys fan too, and he said, "I'll cry with you too, big guy," because that was not good for the Cowboys.
They started off slow.
Yep, that's what it was.
Then they tried to play, and it was like, I don't know what was going on with Dak. It's almost like Dak act like he never played football before. It was like he was lost. And then you got the referees holding up the clock. And it's like, what are y'all doing? And then like the last play, we could have got one more play off. And it's like Dak, he ran for like 10 yards and just slid. And like, I'm like, the game is over.
See, I would have.
Dak and the Cowboy offense put up 51 points the week before. And then they come in that first half and they look like it's a preseason game.
I feel like I don't know. It's like, okay, so they play the Eagles, the Redskins, and the Giants, and we all know like them teams really not, as good. And,
just be honest, they suck. Just say it. Just say it. You can't say it. I'll say it. They suck.
And once they play like the Niners or the Rams or the Cardinals, it's like everybody they like playing like mice. It's like, what happened? Y'all just put up 51 points, something like that on Philly, and y'all Redskins out, and y'all can barely put up 10 points in one quarter against the 49ers. Like y'all ain't start scoring until the second half.
Jarvis, we've had discussions on this show in the past, and sometimes I get a little fired up about everyone's take on Ezekiel Elliott. Do you think he's got something left in the tank? Is he done?
Zeke, you can come in. I don't think he's done.
Is he the best running back on the Cowboys?
No, Pollard is.
Hey, girl.
Number 20. Here go my son right here.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
Wow. What's going on, dude?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, man.
He's on it. But yeah, Pollard, I think Pollard is better than Zeke.
Mm-hmm.
Zeke, he still got some juice left in his tank. He's more of a power back, I think. Zeke is.
Yeah.
It's crazy because he averaged 1,000-something yards this season.
It's wild how quickly running backs lose it, and we always hear about 30 years old. It's kind of the last hole on their back nine. But yeah, it's crazy how you can go from one year being one of the best to the next year just not seeming to have it. So we hope the Browns running backs break that trend. But yeah, it was kind of eye-opening to see the type of season Elliott had.
I love it. I'm sorry. I'm watching your boy play in the background. That's awesome. I love it.
I'm telling you, he's huge.
I can see it.
Teach him that 3-point stance.
So Red Leg chimed in. Do you watch NFL players and go, I'm better than that at
Yeah,
X?
I really do. Like, I never try to sound cocky. It's like I'm confident in my work. Like, everybody know I didn't play college ball and everything like that. So I'm learning. I'm watching like other players and then learning the technique. And then I did have like 2 personal trainers. I had a trainer that was actually my offensive line coach in high school, and he played at the University of Pitt. And he could be watching right now, but he been training me and everything like that for offensive line. And then I had a speed and agility coach and a strength coach that I've been training with. And I look at a lot of offensive linemen that's in the NFL right now, and it's like, I mean, they do the same thing I do. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm not trying to sound cocky, but like I can do it way better. I really can. And it's like, it's not that hard to hold up a block. And it's like I be seeing people get blown up. Like, I feel like last week when the Cowboys game, if the offensive line could have held up a little bit more and gave Dak more time, we probably could have won, honestly. Like, Dak, he probably had at least about, 4-3 seconds every play. Like, they was blowing that line up.
I saw he got pressured in 48% of his dropbacks.
Yep.
So, half the time he's taking heat and doesn't have time to make a decision, make a throw. And yeah, it's hard to do that. You don't understand how important the offensive line is until you see a bad one, or until you see one that is struggling to stop the defensive line, and they can get pressure with 4 guys. So yeah.
Nick Bosa was definitely putting that pressure on him.
Yeah.
Like, every play, like you see him back there. I'm like, it cannot be that hard. Like, I know that guy's a beast, and I see his work and everything like that. But it's like me, I study players. I study them. Like, even though I'm the underdog, I get that opportunity. Is like, they're like, okay, he just come to here and no, I'm studying you. I know what you do.
Oh, here comes Greg with a great question before we get into Fat Boy Tuesday. You're sticking around for Fat Boy Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
That a boy. All right. You have one play in front of a GM and a coach to show what you got, and you have to choose one. Myles Garrett or Clowney, and why?
He said you get one play in front of a GM coach to show what you got. You get to choose Myles Garrett or Jadeveon Clowney.
Who you're up against?
Well, I'm going against Myles Garrett.
And show what you got against Myles? Why would you choose Myles?
I mean, he's a beast.
I know he's a beast.
It's
best of the best.
It's hard to block him. I've seen it's hard to block him. But like I said, like at the end of the day, he got strapped that helmet up just like I do.
I understand that. He's the same size as you, though. That's what's scary is.
Definitely gonna battle. It ain't definitely gonna. I promise you that, because the NFL I want, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes.
The people in Cleveland want to know, if you were on the Browns this year, could you have stopped the Pittsburgh Steelers from getting 9 sacks against us in one game?
Yep.
God, I hope
There
so.
we go. Should have signed him. I don't know. That's on you, Andrew Barry. What are you doing?
I feel like wherever the pressure is, just put me there.
So you say you watch a lot of offensive linemen and try to take what they do well and implement it to your game. Have you studied Joe Thomas? And I'm just curious, like, what does he do that other guys just aren't doing that makes him so great?
Joe Thomas, I really don't. I mean, I really don't watch Joe Thomas like that.
Okay.
I know he played for Cleveland. I know that, but
ever.
Tyron Smith. Have you studied Tyron Smith?
Yeah, I studied Tyron Smith.
Okay. What does he do?
What
does he do that makes him a Pro Bowl player that other guys just can't or won't?
He can hold up a block. His footwork is good. His balance, just his technique. really. So he got good technique. He's a big guy, but he stays low to the ground, which is good.
Sure.
Now we're starting getting into food. Everybody's excited about Fat Boy Tuesday.
All right, Juice, give him what he wants.
And Juice said, "Man, you have got to study the GOAT." The GOAT.
Well, Juice is a Cowboys fan, so
I know.
Talking Tyron Smith is the GOAT, or is he talking Joe Thomas?
Joe Thomas. I mean, for what he did, for how many snaps, you got to watch the video on him. He's quick. He's quick on the first step, and that's what you got to be on that first step. So let's get into Vinny. Are you coming back in for this?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's bring you back in. Let's get into Fat Boy Tuesday.
And now it's time for Fat Boy Tuesday.
All right, so tonight for Fat Boy Tuesday, we're going to get into food that is overrated. All right, like everybody thinks this is the cat's ass, but it is not that good. And this is our personal opinion. So I will go first, and Vinny's probably going to smack me as soon as I say it.
Do it.
Spaghetti and meatballs.
You son of
Come
a
on, man.
Overrated.
My
I
wife,
think it's overrated.
my
Take him
wife
out, Benny.
thing.
I think spaghetti and meatballs is just overrated. I think it is.
My wife said the same thing. And I said, even after tasting mama's sauce? And she goes, oh, no.
No, if it's
not that,
okay,
but,
how about
you
this?
know.
If it's an actual fresh made,
He's backtracking now.
no, because I'm talking like the store-bought pasta, the store-bought sauce, the store-bought meatballs, all that stuff. If it's fresh made, different story. But if it's just store-bought stuff, I don't want it.
Okay.
So does the same thing go for spaghetti and meat sauce, or is it specifically meatballs? Oh, same thing?
Yep. And here you go.
All right.
There it is. Pizza, number one.
Yeah.
Jose said pizza is his number one.
I agree with you, Jose.
Pizza is overrated, Brian. What do you
Pizza
think about
is
that?
Overrated.
It's the perfect food. I don't know how you could say it's overrated. You get a little bit of everything. It's simple. Everyone loves pizza. I mean, there's thousands of websites devoted to pizza reviews, and yeah. I don't know if it's the number one food in America, but it should be.
All right, Jarvis, you got an overrated food over there?
Fried chicken.
Really?
Yeah.
All fried
That's
chicken?
great. I just no. Come on, no.
Like, does that include like chicken tenders, boneless chicken wings, all that stuff?
I just think fried chicken, period, is overrated. Because I mean, like when people hear fried chicken, they're like, "Oh, like fried chicken, like it's just fried chicken." Like I don't know. Like,
How much do you really taste a difference from one fried chicken to a next? Really, almost not that much.
There is. There's seasonings involved.
No.
Oh, yes, there is.
True. You have some good fried chicken, yeah.
That's saying the same thing like spaghetti. Okay. Like pasta and noodles. You go out, you get your normal store-bought stuff. That's one thing. If you're sitting there, if you're cooking it at home and stuff, you're putting your own seasonings into it and the whole 9 yards. That's completely different.
mm-hmm.
No one's dissing that. It's the overall.
Yeah.
Anywhere you typically get regular fried chicken, they all pretty much taste the same. Some's cooked a little more fried, others are not.
So
That's the way I feel about it.
well, the comments just blew up on us.
Uh-oh.
We have Justin Masters. You're fired. Let's see here. Mac and cheese. Juice said mac and cheese is overrated.
Wow.
Craig said mashed potatoes is overrated.
I don't know. There's some good mashed potatoes out there.
I know.
You got to have it just right.
Here's Jose back with hot dogs is overrated. How can hot dogs be overrated?
You get 8 of them for $1. How could those be overrated?
Here we go.
True.
Craig Fountain. Turkey is a worthless bird. All right.
I can listen to that.
Jeez, you guys are
there.
And you know what's really bad is Kevin's over here going, I miss all the food you guys are talking about because they're not gluten free.
See, ain't nothing overrated to Kevin.
All right. Here we go. Olive Garden is overrated. French fries are overrated.
What?
Holy cow!
Just throwing stuff at the wall.
That's it.
Like I said earlier, like my wife said that anything shellfish is overrated.
You know what? Let's really stir the
All right,
pot.
here we go.
Bacon's overrated.
Baked potato is over. Bacon is not overrated.
Bacon is
I
overrated.
was thinking about that, Vinny, because it has to be cooked right. You can have bad bacon. If you don't cook it long enough, I've had bad bacon before, really fatty bacon. Yeah, it's got to be right.
You guys have lost all your fat cards right now for saying that you have to have the perfect bacon. Bacon is bacon.
Not
and
perfect,
it is
not perfect, but you can have bad bacon. I've had
You
bad
can
bacon
have
probably
bad
50%
bacon.
of the time.
I don't care if it's raw.
Bad bacon.
Oh,
See, Jarvis, come on. You cannot have bad bacon.
Oh, you can't.
Come on. You have that limpy, fatty bacon. You're telling me that you're going to lick your finger and say, that's delicious. I want another one?
Yes.
No.
And
I'd
I
say
would
cook it a little longer, then
you
I'll try it
want
again.
That's crazy.
I thought about that, Vinny. I wasn't that bold, but
Hey, here's a bold one for you coming from Jose again. Chipotle is overrated.
you know what? I thought about
eat
saying
it 5 times a week. How could that be overrated?
I know. I tried to tell him that.
Yeah, he did cross with that one.
Really?
Chipotle is good.
I know.
It is good. It's maybe I'm with them. It is a little overrated. People talk about how great it is, and it's good,
Yeah.
but it's not the best fast food out there. The best thing known to man.
We can't judge that with him because he goes there 6 times a week.
I know, right? That's absurd that he would say something like that. And
He's overrated because he goes there all the time.
Yeah, he eats 6 meals a day from there.
Jeez.
I'm going with things that people think are the creme de la creme, and they price it at $40-$50 a pop, and I'm going lobster and steak. Not worth it. Not worth that price. People just assume, I'll pay $40 for a piece of meat or lobster or something. What's so special about lobster?
No.
Give me a burger.
Oh my God, Brian.
I'm right there with you, Bri.
Right.
I don't understand it. People talk about, people are like so passionate about steaks. It's a piece of meat. Okay, it's not bad, but I'm not paying $70 for a piece of meat.
Yeah.
Wow. You are just okay.
Tell them.
I can't even. Hey,
bring that strong.
He goes to a steak place and gets ribs or a burger. That's what happens when he goes to a steak place.
Yep. It's just it's a piece of meat to me. I'm not paying that much for a piece of meat. I mean, I guess if you do it really well, maybe I pay $20 for it. But yeah, prime rib. My wife loves it.
You know
I'm not
what?
a fan.
How are you a big fella? That's what I want to ask here. How are you a big fella? If you do like
I love sandwiches and ice cream and beer.
I'm going to give you fish sticks from here on out. You're getting fish sticks the rest of the time.
I already did that for the first 10 years of my life.
Ribs is another one. Okay. You get so little meat on so much bone. The meat to bone ratio doesn't cut it for me.
This is also a guy that can eat bone-in chicken because it has a bone in it.
No, I can't.
See, these are Jarvis left. He's out.
He's out.
I'm done. I'm out. You guys are just.
He was with you until you said ribs. Come on, man.
How are you
right.
out of this too?
What do you guys think? Give me a sweet that you think is overrated. Is that possible? I don't know. Maybe not.
Twinkies.
What?
Twinkies.
Okay. I was going to go with the Christmas trees.
Oh, get out of here! Those are my favorite Little Debbie's of all time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Nutty Bar guy. You give me a Nutty Bar Christmas trees. I don't like Christmas trees.
Oh, you know what?
Jarvis, you got anything?
No.
Justin.
I think it's funny.
He's loving every bit of this. He's like, you guys are nuts right
I mean,
now.
they're coming up with absurd things. Christmas trees being overrated. Come on.
Was it the Christmas cakes?
That's what I'm saying. The Christmas cakes.
He agrees with you.
They overrated.
You guys.
Hey, Justin, this is blasphemy right here. Frosties. I'm about to ban you.
I agree.
Shut your face, Brian.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Milkshake's much better than the Frosty.
Why? Because you can do it with one hand instead of two?
There you go. I want a milkshake or I want ice cream. I don't want something in the middle.
Oh, my Lord.
Nothing special about a Frosty. What's special about a Frosty? It's slightly melted chocolate ice cream.
Jeez. Wow, the gloves are coming off tonight for Fat Boy Tuesday. Holy hell.
Yeah.
Sorry, kids in the background. Little ears, fellas. So another one that I want to bring up, and this might be kind of crazy. Cheeseburgers. You get cheeseburgers anywhere.
Depends on how they're prepared.
See?
You're just going for shock value. You don't believe cheeseburgers are overrated.
Really?
Fine. You get them anywhere you can go. Anywhere you go. You go to a steak place, you get a cheeseburger.
Right.
That's usually what I get.
And it's good 10 times out of 10.
And guess what? You're paying $12 for a cheeseburger, and I can get one at McDonald's for $1.99.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
not the same type though.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You're gonna get a compressed meat patty from McDonald's versus getting an actual like Angus beef.
This is coming from the guy that would rather have a burger than a $70 steak.
You're absolutely right. No, I completely agree.
Go
talking-
go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and YouTube Pink Slime.
No,
your whole view will change about hamburgers, cheeseburgers.
Don't.
No, it won't. It won't.
Yeah. Well, you'll start to appreciate those $10 cheeseburgers.
I'll still eat it. I don't even care.
Don't.
That's what. Oh, White Castle's overrated.
Ooh.
It's horse meat.
There's not too many left. So
Yeah, that is true. They're down in Columbus. They're there.
Yep.
So Jarvis, you still in Maryland?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, are you still in Maryland?
Oh, yeah, I'm in Maryland.
All right. Well, how do you feel about crab cakes?
I love them.
See, Brian, do you like crab cakes?
Never had crab cake. I got to be honest.
Oh boy, we're going to get. So
I mean, I feel like if I'm going to, I have to go to Maryland to try the best, rather than getting it from like a Longhorn here. So
I've had like the crab biscuits. Is that kind of like the same thing?
No.
No. Just make it.
No. God, no.
Crab cake.
shut your mouth, Vinny. Heck no, it's not.
I don't know. I never had crab cake. So, is it more cake-like?
You ever had crab cake?
No, I've never had crab cakes.
All right, so it's how do I explain it? It's sort of it's cake-like, but you get like a decent size, but it's a lot of crab meat.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a meatloaf. It's like a meatloaf with crab meat in it. I mean, is that close?
Okay.
Yep.
So,
Huh.
Swenson's is overrated. Kevin, I am kicking you off of this show. Just because you can't eat it doesn't mean you get to actually say that about Swenson's. Beer
I
is
can understand it.
holy cow.
Some beer.
Now he's just trying to cut deep.
Heck yeah.
Oh, here, Red Lake
Beer
says
is
I like hush puppies.
Okay.
Hush puppy.
Yeah. Okay. I picture hush puppies
It's not
right
even
away.
close, but that's close.
The crab cakes.
Yeah, crab cakes.
I like hush puppies. Okay. Okay.
Juice.
Never had them.
Oh, dear Lord, we're trying to rile all the people up. Oh, son, go with ribs. Ribs are overrated, Dad. My dad's watching the show now. I got my mom that chimed in. My dad saying ribs are overrated. And the
Ribs are overrated?
ribs are his favorite thing to eat.
That's exactly what I said earlier.
His
Yep.
his least favorite thing to eat is spaghetti.
Wow.
It's gross.
Oh, so So that's where you get it from.
Spaghetti's gross.
It's
Yeah,
because, but it's not because anything. It's because I got to cook it for the kids all the time because the kids love it, and I just look at it after I'm done cooking it. And I'm like, I really don't want this. I really don't want it. Oh my Lord, ribs and wings are overrated. I'm about to just leave the show. It's about time to close out the show.
I'm right there. I hear you.
I mean, I think we basically covered every single food, except for like chicken wings. We said chicken wings.
No, boneless chicken wings are overrated.
Okay. There's one thing I can think of that is not overrated.
Cornbread.
Okay.
Oh, that boy, cornbread.
Cornbread. Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. Cereal.
Okay.
Not to go back to that topic again, but cereal is not overrated.
Hoagies?
Yeah, blow my mind.
You know what?
My Lord.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Oh,
Hoagies are amazing. Unless you're like super overpricing them, no way.
No. Hey,
a lot of good hoagies.
Justin, cornbread and some soup beans, you'll be good to go, dude.
Yeah, you haven't had good cornbread. That's what I say to that. If it's too dry, you gotta make it right.
Yeah,
Same thing with biscuits.
I mean, coming from the guy that makes corn casserole that I never even heard of.
Oh, good.
It's cornbread and corn.
Yeah.
That's moist as it'll get. It's basically cornbread, but it's just super moist. Really good.
Well, obviously, we're over like we always are when we get into Fat Boy.
Yeah.
It gets a little heated.
Gets rowdy.
It gets a little rowdy. Jarvis, you want to stick around for our top three? We're going to get into our Super Bowl teams.
Super Bowl team?
Yeah.
Because I got to get ready to feed him.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's do our top three. Come on.
Yep, let Jarvis go first.
Okay, Green Bay. The Bills.
All right, so the Bills, you said the Bills.
Green Bay.
Number three.
Green Bay. And one more.
The Rams.
The Rams. Of course you would love the Rams.
There you go.
Oh, come on.
That's a good top three.
By the way, we're going to kick Jarvis off here so that God, I can't believe how big your boy is. That's amazing. I love him. I love him. You guys want to follow Jarvis on Twitter? It's at, was it Frank2052? Frank52. And, you know, something, just reach out to him. He's an amazing person. We love him here. We've always loved him here. He's one of our first guests that we've had on. But I am praying that you get where you need to get because
absolutely
you deserve it, bud. You work your butt off for it. So I want to say thank you for coming on our show. We really appreciate having you on.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity.
Best of luck to you, Jarvis. Thank you.
And by the way, fried chicken is delicious. All right, have a good night.
You can't do that as you leaving.
I can say that to him as
no rebuttal, huh?
No rebuttal.
Over.
All right.
All right. So my top three teams. I gotta go number three. I gotta root for Cincinnati Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not gonna root for the Browns, I'm gonna root for another Ohio team. Number two, Tennessee Titans. I think they might be able to sneak in there. And my number one, all AFC teams, because I don't give it about the NFC. The Buffalo Bills. They deserve it. Buffalo Bills, even though they don't have a running game, I got to go with Buffalo. Bri, what about you?
My number three is Kansas City Chiefs. Everyone was sleeping on them at the beginning of the year. The reason they're not higher is because it's just hard. I mean, same thing with Tampa Bay. It's hard to repeat. It's hard to go to three straight Super Bowls. So you got to figure somebody's going to catch them up. So they're my number three. My number two is, let's not forget about how good Aaron Rodgers is and how good the Green Bay Packers are. And right now he's making quarterbacking in the NFL probably the most difficult thing in the world. He's making it look effortless. So till somebody can take him out, he's my number two. And my number one, I'm trying not to be a prisoner of the moment because it looked so good this year. I'm with you, Buffalo. Last week they played a damn near perfect game. But also going back to to their game in Kansas City earlier in the year, where they just handled business. I think they won by 18 points in Kansas City. And I know Kansas City is a better team now, but that kind of let Buffalo get the monkey off their back. They still have to get over that hurdle of beating them in the postseason. But yeah, look out. If I had to pick an upset this week, it would be Buffalo.
All right, my cousin Vinny, give me your top 3.
All right, my number 3, I got to go with Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, of course.
Tampa Bay.
I showed him a Tom Brady card today. He was like, "Oh, can I have it?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, you can have it."
No, and I didn't accept it.
I know you didn't.
My number 2 is the Buffalo Bills. Absolutely one of my tops.
Who is your number 1 team?
I got to keep it real in Ohio, man.
You're going to Cincy?
I'm going Cincy.
Oh,
I think Cincy can take it. Absolutely.
Nice.
Let's keep our heads down. Let's keep it rolling. Let's show what Ohio can still do.
All right. So Jose Cano chimed in and said Tampa Bay. We had Justin here. I'll go to Tampa Bay. Justin said Tampa Bay, Niners, and the Bills. They deserve it after 4 Super Bowl losses in a row. He does have a point. He does have a point. Jose said Tampa Bay all the way. So let's get into my cousin Vinny's word of the day. Let's close that out.
Okay.
Vinny, what is the word of the day?
The word of the day, as soon as I pull it back up and make sure it's not on mute, is
Meritorious.
meritorious. All right.
Definitions?
So-
A, B, C, and D, right?
Yep. We'll go ahead. You want me to read them off again real quick?
Yes, please.
Agreeable, an offensive word or phrase used instead of one that may offend,
Okay.
or deserving of honor or esteem,
Okay.
confidently optimistic, or pleasing and cheerful.
I'm going to go with A.
Okay.
Screwed that to the pooch. What about you, Bri?
yeah, he was breaking up there. I wrote down C before. I can't remember what it was, though.
C is confidently optimistic.
Okay, sure. Go with that.
All right. The answer is, as Justin has said, and as Jose has said,
They got
come on.
yes.
deserving of honor or esteem. The word is right there in the first 5 letters. Merit. Meritorious.
I wrote it wrong.
Word.
Gotcha.
That's all right.
So, all right, guys. Very good. Yes.
Hey, what the heck? We didn't get multiple choices. You did if you would have showed up earlier.
Yes. If you showed up at the beginning of the program, you did.
Oh, I love our boys. I love them so much. All right, Brian, give me the trivia one more time, bud.
Yep, Alabama against Georgia gave up a 67-yard run, which was the longest run against the Alabama defense in 6+ years. Who was the running back that had a longer run 6 years ago?
I believe it was Ezekiel Elliott. Wearing the crop top on the Ohio State Buckeyes, and I believe it was a 74-yard touchdown run.
When they played Blake Sims in the semifinal game, you think? That one?
Yes.
Not
Was I
bad.
right?
Vinny, got a guess? Nope, you were not right. Vinny?
Okay.
wow.
You know this guy, Vinny.
I do.
Yep.
Do. Is it John Holmes?
He's looking
I
at us.
don't know who that guy is.
You don't know who that guy is?
I bet you.
Doesn't sound right.
I'm right.
Nope. It is the one, the only, the future Hall of Famer, Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb.
Really?
Wow.
80-some yards. I can't remember how long it exactly was.
Wrong, Justin. I'm sorry. I tried taking your
Oh,
answer.
you went with Justin's answer?
I went with Justin's answer on that.
I
one.
thought it was Zeke in the playoff game was the big one.
No, Nick Chubb. 2015, I think. So People forget how great of a running back he was at Georgia. I mean, probably should have been a first-round pick, a lot better than Sony Michel, who went ahead of him.
Okay,
That's funny because I was sitting there saying I don't know who John Holmes is, but
I know, right?
go for
Shut
that
up.
anyway.
Come on, Vinny. It's right in front of your face. I thought you could show the fat man up.
Wish I could.
Well, boys, we are done. Honestly, I thought it was Zeke, but honestly, I was wrong. It happens from time to time, but we are live, out and about next week, Mr. B's. We have some giveaways we're going to be giving away. We got some playing cards to give away, some little Kevin Love maybe action, little some other gifts that we're going to give away. Harold Keel will be out there. Toby is coming because it's Harold's birthday again. So you know how well that's been. We got the Dogs Table right afterwards. So please tune in next week live at 6 p.m. here on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And take a look at Mr. B's and the great food and the great atmosphere they have. On that note, let me get a God bless from Big Bry.
Yep. God bless you. God bless America.
My cousin Vinny, tell him good night.
Hey, have a good night, everybody.
And I am that fat guy. We want to thank our troops, our first responders, especially, hey, here's a new one, ODOT, for taking care of the roads the way they did in this last snowstorm we had up here in Cleveland. It was actually pretty bad. So we got about, 18 inches? John Holmes. We got John Holmes up here in Cleveland. No, too soon. Yeah, okay. But thank you guys for keeping the roads clear for us and doing what you guys do. It was a lot. So we appreciate everything. And we are definitely uncorked, unloaded. And Vinny, give that word one more time. Yeah.